Hey, community group leaders and teachers, I hope you're doing well and having a fabulous day. Hey, I'm excited to introduce this week's Leadership Minute. This is one more tool that we can have in our tool belt to lead more effectively. Over the course of the last few weeks through the month of July, we have been exploring different ways that we as leaders can gain valuable insights on leadership from Paul's unique relationship with Timothy, looking at 1 Timothy in particular. And so this week, I'm going to look at 1 Timothy 2:7. Where Paul says that he urges men everywhere to pray, lifting up holy hands, to not be argumentative, to not be angry, but instead to worship God. In the same way, he urges women to dress modestly, to not wear gaudy clothing or fancy jewelry, to not be caught up in quarrels or gossip, but instead to be full of contemplation and godliness. Basically, through both conversations, through Paul having a conversation with men and with women, Paul is challenging people who gather together for worship on Sunday mornings to make things about God and pursuing Him. He challenges men to lift up holy hands in prayer and in worship, ultimately to challenge men to model what it means to worship God. In the same way, when he challenges women to dress modestly, to not wear any gaudy clothing, to not be gossiping or anything like that, he encourages them to not be distracted by other things or not cause the attention to be on themselves because of the way they dress or because of what they're talking about. Even with men, he challenges men to not be angry, to not be quarrelsome, to not take the focus on themselves or get the focus on anything other than Jesus, Him crucified, Him risen from the dead. As leaders, we have the capacity to steer the conversation either towards God or away from God in what we do, in what we say. If we model worshiping God, if we demonstrate that when we get together on Sunday mornings and in our own private lives, other people will look at us and see us. And if they see us with our hands raised in worship, engaging with God, if they see us when there's moments that could make us angry, where instead of reacting or letting anger control us, we calmly respond through prayer, or we calmly respond by pointing people back to Jesus, and that changes everything in such a powerful way. And so my encouragement to you as a leader, just as Paul challenged Timothy to challenge the Ephesian community to pray everywhere, to model what it means to worship by lifting up holy hands, to keep the conversation around Jesus and Him crucified and not around other things, for you as a leader to do the exact same thing. To keep the focus on worship, on Jesus and Him crucified, to personally worship God yourself and invite others to do so, to model what that looks like. And then anytime anything else comes in or creeps up that could be full of arguments or could cause anger or could cause a disruption, try and remove that disruption to point people back towards Jesus. Doing so, man, you are going to change the culture of your group. You're also going to help everyone in your group know what it means to worship God and pursue Him first and foremost. If you have any questions about what that tangibly looks like, please feel free to reach out to me. Shoot me a text or an email. You can also refer back on any of the previous leadership videos that we've explored together. But I look forward to seeing you next week for another round of Leadership Minute. Hey, blessings, friends.